Okay, we're going to solve quadratic equations using factoring. So the first example is to solve the quadratic equation x squared plus 3x minus 10 equals 0. And so we think back to before the first test. And so our x squared is going to factor into an x and an x. And 10, well, it factors into 10 and 1 are 5 and 2. And the difference between 5 and 2 is 3. So this is the correct factorization, 5 and 2. Since it's negative here, the signs are different, and the larger one is negative. Now, real quick, let me get a different color here. And what we need to do is we need to verify that we have factored correctly. Oops. Okay, so that gives me the minus 3x I'm looking for, and that is not a 70, that is a minus 10. Okay, so back. So when I factor, or when I use factoring to solve, I get it factored, and then I take each factor and set it equal to 0 and solve for x. So I get x equals 5, and here I get x plus 2 equals 0, and x equals minus 2. So those are my two solutions, 5 and minus 2. We should verify with our calculator just to make sure. And it takes a minute sometimes. Oh, did my calculator? There we go. All right. So we go to y equals. We put in the new x squared minus 3x minus 10. Graph that. And we use our trace to type in the two answers we found. We found minus 2. And there we go. We verified that solution. And then the other one was plus 5. And we verified that solution. Okay, the next one we're going to look at is 3x squared minus 2x equals 8. Now, we can't factor unless it's equal to 0. So our first step is to get everything on the other side. So we get 3x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 0. And now 3 factors into 3 and 1. And now I have to figure out about 8. 8 could factor into 8 and 1 or 4 and 2. Now the signs are different, and whichever one ends up being bigger is going to be the negative. So let's see. If I take 3 times 2, I get 6, and then 1 times 4 is 4, and that gives me a difference of 2. So let's try the 3 and the 2, with the 2 being negative, and then the 4, and get a different color to check here. So that gives me 3x squared minus 6x plus 4x minus 8. And that combines minus 6x plus 4 to give me the minus 2x that I'm looking for. So I have factored it correctly. Now I take each factor. Oh, that's supposed to be equal to 0. This is equal to 0. And solve each one. So here I subtract 4 and divide by 3. And I get minus 4/3, and here I add 2. X equals 2. So my two solutions are minus 4/3 and 2. And we should check. So clear, put in our new equation, 3x squared. Now I'm going to go ahead and put in with the 8 on the other side. So 3x squared minus 2x minus 8. And graph that. Okay, hit trace, and minus 4/3 was the negative root. We see that that works. And then the other one was 2, and that works. So our solutions are correct. The next one, x squared minus 13x plus 36 equals 0. So 36 factors into 6 times 6. It also factors into 9 times 4 and several others, but 9 and 4, when we add together, equals 13. So let's start with that. So x, and now both of the signs, so we look here, both of the signs are the same, and they're both negative. So this is going to be minus x minus 9 and x minus 4. Let me get my other color here real quick. We'll check. X squared minus 4x minus 9x plus 36, and there's our negative, or minus 13. So we take our factorization, x minus 9, and we let each factor be equal to 0. And then we solve for x. So I get x minus 9 and add 9 to both sides. X equals 9. And add 4 to both sides. We get x equals 4. And there's our solutions, 4 and 9. So let's check. If we get good with our calculators, it's not as stressful. And we'll know, that we'll be able to tell when we get a wrong answer. Okay, so there's my equation. So trace, one was 9, right? And the other one was 4. And so we see that both of those worked out. We are down to the 5th example, 5x squared minus 20x equals 0. Okay, we're going to factor out a 5x, and that's going to leave, so 5x times x. And then here we have 4 times 5 times x. So I take out a 5x, I'm left with an x, minus, take out a 5x, I'm left with a 4, equals 0. Now this is a factor, so we get 5x equals 0. And then x minus 4. Divide both sides by 5 on this one. X equals 0. Add 4 to both sides, x equals 4. You have to be careful here. It's kind of tempting to divide by 5x, but we have to be careful. We can't divide by x because x might be 0. So we avoid division by 0 even when it is a variable. So here I have 4x squared equals 13x minus 3. So what I'm going to do is move both terms to the other side. And I get 4x squared minus 13x plus 3 equals 0. Now I got to figure out how to factor. 4 can factor into 2 and 2 or 4 and 1. 3 only factors into 3 and 1. So both signs are the same and they're both going to be negative. So if I take 3 times 2, oh look, 3 times 4 is 12 and 1 more is 13. So it's 4, 1, yeah, so I get 4x, and then I'm going to multiply the 4 and the 3. So the 3 is going to go here. It's going to be minus, and then the 1 goes with 4x. So we check that. (4x squared) minus 12x minus x plus 3. And there we get our minus 13x. And we should check. This is the last one, so we will check with our calculator. Oh, let's see. Push the right buttons. And so we're going to go ahead and have everything move to the other side. 4x squared minus 13x plus 3. Graph that. Oh, did I forget to actually solve? Okay, yep, I did not get finished the problem, did I? Okay, so now we take each factor. So we get 4x minus 1 equals 0, and the other one is x minus 3. Add 1 to both sides. Divide both sides by 4. There we have x equals 1/4. Add 3 to both sides. X equals 3. So there's our two solutions, 1/4 and 3. Go back to the graph now. And we hit trace 1/4. And we're at 0. And then 3. All right. And that was the last one.